The same weapon that was given to Ukraine to defend themselves by Americans. The same weapon was sent to Nigeria, to Boko Haram, to terrorize that country. Who gave them those weapons? Who supplied them? Who? Is it Nigerian president? Is it African leaders supplying Boko Haram with weapons? Who? Who is supplying them? But those same people who were supplying Boko Haram with weapons, those are the same people sitting and demolishing Nigeria name on their media, on their TV station, saying that Nigeria is a corrupted nation. Nigeria is not safe. Nigerian peoples are dying. In northern part of Nigeria, they have been killing peoples in northern part of Nigeria for how long? Who talk about it? Who knows why that killing will never stop in northern part of Nigeria? There is a gold, diamond, silver, oil, fuel in northern part of Nigeria. That's why killing will never stop there. Unless those enemies of Africa, unless they get that natural resources of that northern part of Nigeria, that is the time they will stop that killing. If not, they will try to kill everyone in that area, in northern part of Nigeria, so that they will all transfer. There was a time when northern part of Nigeria, there are people were transferring, going to east, west, leaving their houses because there is too much killing. That's what they want. That's why they cause killing there. They cause the terrorism there. At the same time, they try to supply Boko Haram with weapons to have power. Boko Haram don't create weapons, but they create bullet. Who gave them a machine to create bullet? Who? Is it me? Is it your president? Is it my president? No. Then who gave Boko Haram a machine to create their own bullet without buying bullet? Even a lot of African countries, their soldiers don't have a machine to create bullet. They are buying it. A lot of African countries. How many African presidents will come out and say, I have a machine for my soldiers that create bullet? But Boko Haram have it. A terrorist group have it. Who gave them? I will tell you whatever is happening. America. The same weapon you, America, sent to Ukraine, the same weapon was found in Nigerian terrorist hands. Then it means the same America that is supplying Ukraine with weapons to make the war between Ukraine and Russia to become worse, the same America is supplying Nigerian terrorists a weapon to kill their own peoples. But the same America is sitting there and calling Nigeria a corrupt nation, calling Nigeria unsafe nation. But you are the one making it unsafe. But Americans are here telling us that Nigeria is a terrorist country. Nigerians are killing each other. Nigerians are criminals. They make the whole Africa to see Nigeria as a weapon place, weapon free, killing free. They make all Africans to think like this about Nigeria. But the cause of it is not the cause of Nigerians. It's the cause of Americans, France. In 2019, there was a weapon they find out that was from France to Boko Haram. Who talk about it? Nobody questioned France President Macron. Nobody questioned him to tell him that there was a weapon found in terrorist hand in Africa and that weapon was from your country. How did your weapon get to Nigeria? Nobody questioned him. Nobody. Europeans didn't question Macron about that French president. Americans didn't question because they are all on the same page to make wars usual thing in Africa. But I tell you one thing, America, UK, Europeans, European Union, stop going to Africa and pretending that you are helping Africans. We know you are our enemies. You will never love us. You will never render us help. Only thing you could render us is problem and war and terrorism in Africa. We are tired of seeing your peoples in Africa. Okay? Americans, We are tired of seeing your peoples in Africa. Joe Biden, we are tired of hearing an insult from you to the whole African black hole. And I want to send this message to Joe Biden that anytime you repeat the same nonsense you did with Ugandan president to call him to come to your country and ask him to accept homosexual in his country. Anytime, Joe Biden, you repeat this, I will come out for you. Joe Biden, this message is going to Joe Biden. I don't care if you are the giant of America, but you are not giant of Africa. I'm telling you that. PANDI MAICA, you are too small in my eyes. If you are too big in the eyes of Americans, you are too small in the eyes of Africa. Joe Biden. So I am telling you, anytime you repeat the same nonsense you did with Uganda president by calling him to fly to come over to your country and ask him to accept homosexuality in your country. Joe Biden, if you accept homosexuality in America, that's where you rule. Your law is good there. Whatever you said, they should do it because you are the president of America. We don't care about that. We don't want to talk about that. The only thing is, don't call on to African leaders and call them to come to America, and at the same time you are telling them to accept homosexuality in Africa. We are tired of seeing Joe Biden coming out to insult the whole Africa and nobody is talking about it. Who the hell is Joe Biden if he will come out on the whole media and insult the whole Africa and nobody is questioning Joe Biden? Who the hell is Joe Biden? American president, you are not a god, you can never be God, you are not an angel, and you can never be angel. You are a bloody fool president in America who is trying to demolish Africa with your evil words and your evil deeds. And we are not going to take any nonsense from you again, Joe Biden. I am telling you this, we are not going to take any nonsense insult from you. Any one more word from you like this to accept homosexuality to any African country, I tell you, Joe Biden, you will regret it. I will come out for you. I am not threatening or saying any words, but I am telling you what I am going to do. I will come out for you. You cannot fuck with Africa and you expect Africans to see you as a good man. Who the hell are you, Joe Biden, if you think you can insult the whole Africa? And you expect Africans to sit and watch you like that. If African leaders are afraid to tell you that Joe Biden, you are a fool, then I, PANDI MAICA, am not afraid to tell you that Joe Biden, you are fool, stupid, and idiot. And be very, very mindful of the words that you utter to Africa. Stop calling African leaders and telling them to accept homosexuality. Homosexuality will never be accepted in Africa. Never. If any white man want to become homosexual, remain in your country and be homosexual. We don't care about it. But if you go to Africa as a white man and telling Africans to accept homosexuality, we will send you to your early grave. I swear to God. We are not going to take this rubbish. It's enough now, it's enough. You can do whatever you want to do in your country. Nobody care about it. But you cannot go to our country and try to tell us what to do in our countries. Joe Biden, you have your own religion. Africans have their own religion. Go with your own and let Africans go with their own. In our religion in Africa, we don't accept homosexuality. And in our cultures in Africa, we don't accept homosexuality. If you, Joe Biden, will not marry a man, stop insulting Africans by telling Africans man and man, woman and woman should get married. Stop insulting Africans, Joe Biden. I will be happy if my message can reach to you, Joe Biden, to see us, PANDI MAICA is ready to go in any length with you. I don't care who you are, and I don't want to know who you are. But the only thing is, you can do whatever you want to do with Americans. I don't give a damn. You can put a law in America, any kind of law you want, but you cannot make a law for Africans. This is what you have to understand. Not only Joe Biden, UK Prime Minister, you have to understand the same thing. You can make a law in the UK, but you don't have the power to make law in Africa. European Prime Ministers, you have a power to make law in your European countries, but you don't have power to make law in African countries. European Union, you have power to make any law in European countries, but you don't have power to rule, to make any law in African countries. You all must understand this. This every tribalism in Africa, you people are the cause of it. Now you are speaking about homosexual. When all of you, the leaders of white man country who is talking about homosexuality, all of you have a wife, have a woman as a wife. But you are trying to push Africans to accept homosexuality so that you will send your homosexual peoples to Africa, let them go and destroy Africa. If I see any white man in Africa who is homosexual, you will regret your life. You will regret why your mother delivered you to this life. Especially in Gambia. If I see any American, European, UK citizen in Gambia who is homosexual, you will never come back to your peoples. Trust me. I make it very clear. If you like, take it as a threat. It's a threat that I will not take any nonsense from any homosexual in my country, Gambia. I will not. If the president is afraid to tell you this, I am not afraid to tell you this. If the president of Gambia is being coward to you Americans to tell you that we don't accept homosexual in Gambia, I am coming out and telling you that Gambia will never accept homosexuality. The whole entire Africa will not accept homosexuality. And any white man who want to become homosexual, remain in your white man country, be homosexual, we don't care about it. But in Africa, if you go there, then you will never go back to your peoples. I tell you this, take it as a threat. That's it. It's a threat. It's not like I'm begging you, because that's my continent called Africa. You, the Europeans, put every kind of law on migrants, on black peoples. We accept it because we are the peoples who came to your country. So you should accept any law in my African country. If you don't accept it, don't go there. Don't go to Africa. Don't go to Africa. We don't want to see homosexuals in Africa. I make it very clear. I know homosexuals, they have more power in Europe, in America, in UK. They are the powerful peoples. But I don't want to care about that, and I don't know about that. But any white man or a white woman who is homosexual, stay in Europe or America or UK. Do your homosexual. We the Africans, we don't care about that. But if you go to Africa, you will go to your early grave. I swear to the Holy Quran. You will never survive it. The rubbish is enough. What the hell is that? Joe Biden, a small boy, Joe Biden, disrespecting the whole Africa. And we are seeing it as normal thing. When Joe Biden came out to insult the whole Africa, we see it as a normal thing. Who the hell is Joe Biden to stand and insult the whole Africa and expect good word from Africans? Joe Biden, I should insult you to the extent I should insult the whole family of Joe Biden. Since you insult the whole Africa, you deserve every insult that you get from me today. You deserve it. No problem.
You know the fear, you want to kill Africa. You know
African, you know the fear. You know the fear, man. You know the fear. You know the fear, African. You want to kill a Pandi, man. You know the fear. You want to kill a African. You know the fear. You want to kill a black man. You know the fear. You want to kill me. Black man suffering. African suffering, black man suffering, black man dying each and every day. You want to kill a Pandi man, you want to kill a Pandi man, you know the fear, you want to kill a Pandi man, you know the fear. They kill me, come and kill me. They want to murder me, come and murder me. I know if I stand for Africa, they want to kill me, they want to kill me. Me no fear, if you no fear to kill a black man, Pandi MAICA no fear to fight for African. If you no fear to kill a African, Pandi MAICA no fear to fight for Africa. Africa, start to rise up and defend yourself. Your leaders in Africa will never fight, will never react, will never speak for you, will never fight for you. Let me tell you and give you an example. Whatever changed in Europe here, it was changed by the citizens coming out and doing demonstration and fight for themselves, stand for themselves. Do you know why European government treat black peoples like this? Because their citizens came out to tell Europeans government that the way they are handling black people, they don't like it. They should handle black people as a stranger. They should not handle them. They should not pity them. They are giving black people many chances. And now their children are not having futures. Europeans complain about this. European citizens, they complain about this. And that make the living of a black man in Europe very difficult. Before it was easy, right? Everyone knows about it, those who are living in Europe. Before, it was easy to find a better life in Europe as a black man. But now it is very difficult because their citizens came out to command their government to reduce the helping hand that they are giving to black peoples. And they reduce it by force. Citizens stand. But we are there waiting for our leaders to chase white peoples away. We are the one who employ them. European citizens know that they are the one who employ their prime ministers, and they should come out and tell them what to do. And if they tell them anything, they do it because they are united. But as far as we the Africans are not united, we can't do that. We have to unite and come out and tell our leaders that the helping hand or the chances you are giving to white peoples to come to Africa is too much. It should be reduced. White people should be asked of some documents before you came to Africa. You should be prepared. You should not just wake up one day and jump up in Africa. No. Africa is not a continent that you can jump up and just go there like that, if not the stupidity of African leaders who give chance to white peoples. How do you, the African leaders, feel about this? Your peoples to go to Europe is difficult for them. But for Europeans to come to your country is easy for them. How do you see that? You are not even feeling ashamed of that. That your peoples, when they want to go to Europe, they have to die, they have to use a difficult ways, they have to apply visa, they have to do this, they have to find this document. Even they apply visa, an embassy can says, oh, look, I see you, if you go to Europe, you will never come back. They deny you of visa. But Europeans, if they want to go to Africa, they don't ask for any visa. They just buy ticket like I'm going to from city to city. You just buy the bus ticket or train ticket and just go. Because Africa is nothing. Anybody can go to Africa. We give this chance to them They make their own way difficult for us, and we make our own easy for them. What kind of life are we living, Africa? We make it easy for Europeans, Americans, UK to jump to Africa anyhow. But they make it difficult for Africans to jump to their country. Because white people should be respected. Because white people should be praised. Because white people should be free to do what they like. But black man is not free to do what he or she like. Big shame on African leaders if your peoples are not free to do what they like in your country, but a stranger can come and do what they like in your country. Your enemy can come to your country and do what they like. But you as a citizen of that country, you don't even have power in your own country. What do Europeans tell black peoples? They say, European citizens first. Anything that come, either an opportunity or better life, European citizens will be the first. Then black people, you can come last. This is what they tell black peoples in Europe. But in Africa, white people are the first, white citizens are last. In their countries, we are last. In our countries, we are last. It's very sad. I just pray God, God, God. 3 times I go on to God, to beg God, to beg God, to beg God 3 times to let me rule my country just for 5 years. I swear to the Holy Quran. I swear to the Holy Quran. I swear to the Holy Quran 3 times. Wallahi, billahi, tallahi. Africa will not remain the same. Do you know what it means to me? Do you know how much pain I feel? If I become president, I don't want to associate with no white man country. No white man can come to my country without my country document. If you came, then you have to become a migrant in my country. The way my people live in your country, that same way your people will live in my country. Let me see how you will feel about that. You know, when you remember last time, when Italy refused to give documents to Ghanaian citizens, and Ghana President Akufo-Addo says he want to put document to Ghana. Then Europeans wake up and go to Ghana and bribe him to let him think like he's fool. They fool him. And it never happened. They would never want it. For an African leader to put documents to his country. But they put documents to their own countries. If you came to Europe, you can't fly back to Africa without document, because if you fly back, you will not be able to come back with flight because you don't have document. You will not even pass your own African airport without European document, because that is the European rule they give to Africa also. That your people must not leave your country to come to my country with aeroplane without my country document. And Africans stick to that. They keep that very well. A white man policy, they keep it very well. What about your own policy? What is your policy? As an African leader, you keep white man policy very strong. No black man can fly from African airport without European document and you want to come to Europe. It can never be possible. They will beat you in that airport and send you back. Africans keep white man policy strong. But what about African policy? Where is African policy? How do Europeans treat your own policy? You don't even have, we don't have policy. That's why they can't react. If not, if Africa tell Europeans that your citizens should not come to my country without my country documents, your citizens should not fly with aeroplane to come to my country without my country document, because if they came, I am going to treat them in a bad way, and there will be a consequence. And if they came in an illegal way to enter to my country, if I catch them, they will become migrant in my country. If every African stick to this, Europeans will calm down. They will know their level. They will know that they are poor. They are nothing without Africa. Americans will know that they are poor. They are nothing without Africa. UK will know that they are poor. They are nothing without Africa. But do you know how they treat African leaders? How they treat them? They treat African leaders with a visa. I will cut visa with you and with your country to my country. This is how Europeans treat African leaders. One last time when I think about Gambian president, when he says he denies something, I think it's homosexual, right? Is it homosexual or something? There was something, a proposal that Europeans give to Gambian president, and Gambian president say he's not going to accept it. And European says that if, okay, there was deportation, very good. Deportation from Germany, to deport Gambians back to Germany. And Gambian president is not ready to accept it. And they said, if Gambia don't let the deportation plane to land in the Gambia, they are going to cut visa from Gambia to Europe. By force, Gambian president accept it. Visa. Go cut visa from Gambia to Europe. Cut it. Cut it down. Let me see you and me who will survive. Who will first cry. Cut visa to my country, to your country. You can see European Union is trying to defend them, to do atrocities on Africans. But European Union is not there to help Africa. That's what you have to understand. Because when Germany want to deport Gambians, Gambian president says he is not going to accept the deportation plane to land in the Gambian airport. Germany will run to European Union to tell them what is going on between them and Gambia. And European Union say to Gambia that if Gambian president don't accept the deportation plane to land in the Gambian airport, they are going to put sanction on the visa between Gambia and Europe. This made Gambian president to feel afraid because he can't sit in Gambia without coming to Europe. He feel like if he don't come to Europe, he will die. Because he must come to Europe and beg them because Gambian president refused to work. He is not working. Gambian president is not working. And he have to come to Europe every year or every 6 months to beg them for something. So, if you are not ready to work, you must beg. Why are most of the African leaders begging Americans, UK, and Europeans for money? Because African leaders refuse to work. If not, what Gambia have? Only farming can make Gambia a developed country. Gambia is too small to be developed. Only farming can make Gambia develop. Trust me. Farming is a very good thing in Gambia, and we have the lands. What was the former president doing before farming? That's why he's separate from Europeans, Americans, and they call him a dictator. Because any president who refused to accept the world global economy, to join the world global economy, Europeans, Americans, and UK, they call that president in Africa a dictator. Gambian former president refused to join to put Gambia in the world global market. And Europeans were angry with that because they were not getting any benefit from Gambia at that moment. Americans were angry. But the Gambian president now, the president we have, is a man who don't care about Gambia, who don't want to work. But he always want to see taxes coming into his pocket, and so that he could fly and go to any country of his choice. His children are living in America, in a very beautiful building, driving Ferrari. Gambian president, his first son is in America, enjoying himself, without taxpayer money. Gambia. That country must be free. You know why? Because the way people look the president of Gambia, that's not the same way I look him. The way people keep him, that's not the same way I keep the Gambian president. That's any leader in Africa. If you become fool, I tell you directly that you are a fool. And I don't keep you as someone who is wise. I keep you as a fool. Gambian president is refusing to work and to give a helping hand to farmers in the Gambia. Last time, I saw it when they said he bought some tractors for Gambian peoples. He bought tractors for Gambian peoples. Don't you, the Gambian, think that is a scam from the president to you peoples so that he will win your heart again for the next election? Because before the former president leave, there are many tractors there that the former president brought to Gambia. Where are those tractors? When Adama Barrow became president, he sold those tractors. Now you are bringing another tractor saying that, I brought tractors for you. What about the tractors that the former president left there? Why do you sell them? Where are those tractors? But now Gambians, they show to Gambians that your former president is dictator. But you don't know that you have a man right now. Right now you have a dictator in Gambia. Before you don't have dictator. Before you have a man who is trying to take what belongs to him and deal with his enemies. But right now you have a man who is called dictator. That is Gambian president, because when you speak about what he is doing, he lock you up for 2 weeks and leave you. When you speak against him, he lock you up for 2 weeks and leave you. That is dictator behavior. He's trying to make you support him by force or you keep quiet. And this is what I say to Gambians, that if I will be locked by Gambian president because of what I always said about Gambian president, then I am ready to be locked up. But believe me that even if I'm locked up for 10 years, if I still came out, I will still stand where I stand and fight how I fight. Locking up me can't change anything. It will make it worse for the president. Don't you believe that? Because there are people who you can lock up as a president, who you can lock up some people and get free. But there are people you will lock up and it will be mess up for you. I'm not saying I am great. I am big. Nobody can lock me up. I am just a human being who can be locked up by anyone. Who can be killed by anyone. But everything is not like you are the power because you have the power and you can do anything you like. There are things that you will look down on them and do them. You feel like nothing will happen. But at the end of the day, you feel the consequence. Right? Gambian president is a dictator. I have said it before, that he is a dictator. Because when you look into Gambia very well, since this man became president in Gambia, him and his ministers and his governors and some of his MPs were using Gambian girls to sleep with. How many of the ministers on naked videos, their Bola videos, their Bola pictures, their sex audios I bring out here? How many? Many. And those are ministers who control our budget. Those are governors, MPs. The advisor to the Gambian president, his Bola video, whose Bola picture, sex audio come out. Everyone see it. The advisor to the president, to the Gambian president. That is called Dusano. He is the advisor to the Gambian president. Doing that act. Gambian president, his political party is a political party that sleep with people's wives. That's how I will call it. You know, I don't care how anyone see it, but it's a political party that sleep with people's wives. Because that's what I have seen in his government. Sleeping with our younger sisters, underage children in the Gambia. You know? So, you know, everybody is keeping quiet in the Gambia. Nobody is ready to talk about this because they are afraid of government will lock them up. They have Interpol, right? If I'm doing the wrong thing, if I'm saying the wrong thing about the president, Interpol will come for me. Don't think I am in Europe, they can't arrest me. They can arrest me even if I am living in America. They have Interpol, right? They can arrest me if I'm doing the wrong thing for my Gambia, for my peoples. If I'm saying the wrong thing about my Gambia, If I'm trying to displace Gambia, they will come for me. No matter how I'm living in Europe, they will still come for me because they have Interpol. But why are they not coming for me? And if they came for me, I'm not afraid to go. There are people who you can remove Europe and take them back to Gambia because you have Interpol. But there are people who you can't move. There are trees you can move from one place to another. There are trees also you can't move. There are trees if you move from one place to another, they die. But there are trees if you move them from one place to another, you die. Not that tree. You will die. But that tree will not die. It's a proverb. If you understand this. So if people think like I am trying to destroy the name of the Gambian president, or I am trying to see, or I am trying to make politics jam with him, I make it very clear, I am not into any politics in Gambia. I don't like politics. Politics go away. If I want to go into politics, I will form my own political party and become a revolutionary in the Gambia and ask for presidency. If I want to go into politics, I will not stand to tell you the Gambians, oh, this is, if you vote for me, I will do this. I will just say I want to become president. If people believe me, let them put me in power. Then whatever I will do if I become president, only me and God will know that one. But I'm not going to give you empty promise. Vote for me, I will do this. If you vote for me, I will do this. I was climbing Kaba, a tree of Kaba, 300 or 500 meters. If you vote for me, I will put internet in your garden. You will sit in your house and water your garden with your phones. There was the president was telling this to Gambians. That's why Gambians put him in power. Because he was giving them like, they will sit in their house. What a lie. He said Gambians will sit in their houses and take their phones to water their gardens with their phones. Come on, even Europeans don't have that. Americans never have that. How do you expect a president like that, an African leader, to create that? For Gambian women to be sitting in their house and press their phone. Oh, water? Yes, 20% of water. Water garden. Then they will be sitting and watching their garden. Water is pumping there. What a shame on the Gambian president. What a shame on you, Mr. President.
Maybe his wife.
Come on. The president is trying to fool Gambians. You know, he likes to speak in parables when he is speaking to Gambians. The only time you can see the Gambian president coming out to address Gambians, that is when when election is at the corner. He will start speaking. Oh, hey, manding kolko ten ten ten, manding kolko ten ten ten. That is the only time you will see him speaking proverbs, Mandinka proverbs to the Gambians. But after election, when he win, he forget about Gambians. Who see him speaking after election? Since election was finished in the Gambia, who see Gambian president coming out to speak to Gambians? Who? We have a lot of problems Gambians are facing right now, but he never addressed those problems. He never put his mouth there. He's keeping quiet, doing what he like, eating your money and sleeping. And in the next 5 years, you will vote for him again to become the president. The same question that Nigerians were asking me, the same question that Gambians were asking me. When I told them that I don't see any politician in Gambia who can rule Gambia, who can develop Gambia. They said, then who do we vote for? You ask me, who do you vote for? Don't you believe in yourselves that among Gambians there is some youths who can rule that country and have pity and fight for your right and speak for you, fight for you while you are sleeping? That is called leader. A leader who will fight for the citizens, die for the citizens, do everything for the citizens, make sure that citizens are safe and live in development environments. That is president.